I tried every budgeting method. Here's what actually worked. Managing personal finances can be a challenge, especially when it comes to budgeting. Over the years, I tried various budgeting methods to get a handle on my spending and savings. Some worked for a while, others didn't last long, but after experimenting with several approaches, I finally found a system that fits my lifestyle and helps me stay on track financially. The first method I tried was the 500-3020 rule. This approach divides income into needs, wants, and savings. It seemed simple and straightforward, but I quickly realized that my income wasn't always consistent enough to fit neatly into those percentages. Also, I found it hard to stick to the 20% savings goal when unexpected expenses came up. Next, I tried the zero-based budget. With this method, every dollar is assigned a job, so there's no leftover money at the end of the month. I loved the idea of tracking every expense, but it became overwhelming. I spent too much time entering each transaction and often felt stressed about not meeting my goals. Plus, I didn't have the discipline to maintain it consistently. Then I experimented with the envelope system. I allocated cash for different categories and only spent what was in each envelope. This helped me avoid overspending on discretionary items, but it wasn't practical for online purchases or bills that couldn't be paid in cash. I also had trouble keeping track of multiple envelopes and often forgot to refill them. I also tried using budgeting apps like Mint and I Know You Need a Budget. These tools provided good insights and helped me categorize my spending. However, I found myself checking them too often, which led to micromanagement and frustration. Plus, some of the automated suggestions didn't match my actual financial situation. After trying all these methods, I decided to create a hybrid system that combined the best parts of each. I started by setting clear financial goals, both short-term and long-term. Then I used a simplified version of the zero-based budget, but instead of tracking every single expense, I focused on major categories like rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation. I also set aside money for savings and emergency funds automatically through direct deposits. What really made a difference was learning to track my spending without getting bogged down. I used a basic spreadsheet to log my monthly expenses and reviewed it once a week. This allowed me to see where my money was going and make adjustments as needed. I also prioritized cutting back on non-essential expenses and found ways to save without sacrificing my quality of life. Another key factor was developing a habit of regular financial check-ins. Instead of trying to manage everything at once, I made it a point to review my budget each month and adjust it based on changes in income or expenses. This flexibility helped me stay on track even when things didn't go as planned. In the end, the budgeting method that worked best for me was one that was simple, adaptable, and easy to maintain. It wasn't about strict rules or perfection, but about understanding my financial habits and making smart choices. By combining elements from different approaches and staying committed to my goals, I was able to take control of my finances and build a more stable financial future.